and good morning. I know it says 9:02. I was really already here, but it took a while for it to circle around and decide if it wanted to let me in. But good morning. How was your weekend? How are you doing this morning? I'm fine. I am fine. The sun is out, and I decided to show you some glory that I have. But I'm gonna wait till a few more people come in and show you that I found a great, I don't know, visual treasure this weekend, and I was so excited to show you and hoping that they would last till then. But my weekend was good. Kind of set me up for today on what else I have to do. And I have to admit, since I'm no longer president of my Rotary Club, I have more time to do some other things. And so I am doing just that. But this morning we're going to talk about visit, VISIT. And the reason I chose visit, and I did visit probably about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago now. And I had a chance to see a friend that seriously, things have changed since COVID, and they were already starting before COVID, but there's more of a realization since COVID that she's going through dementia, perhaps Alzheimer's, but it was good to talk about everything that was in the past that was reminiscent of our friendship and our love for each other, our care for each other, our kindness towards each other. So I got a chance to share in her birthday on Saturday. We went to Olive Garden, and I did post it. But just a wonderful woman, just wonderful. And her husband is right there taking great care of her. So it was a moment that was, when I first saw her, was to be so excited, and she was excited to see me, knew my daughter. But then the current things, like what she was currently eating and whose plate she was eating out of, and was it hers, was it somebody else's, those were the kind of things that concerned me. So when I walked away with, we need to visit people before they don't know us or we don't know them. That's what today is about. How do we know that the last time we remember somebody was in our distant memory, but we don't remember them now. And if anyone has ever been around people, which I talked about a few weeks ago, of dealing with dementia, you understand. What really goes on is that all of a sudden the memories fade. The memories fade, or the current memory fades, and and people remain in their past. So just a reminder that sometimes we need to make a visit to somebody. And I know COVID kind of put anxiety in us, and some people fear, and and some people, I see them now, they still have on masks, and very intimidated by closeness and distance from other people. So I understand it. I mean, I don't in any way downplay it, because that is how they feel, and we have to sometimes deal with how people feel and not how we feel. How do other people feel? So, but I'm going to show you my little gift here to myself. I will. And these, I don't know if I can turn them around, but is that not a beautiful, beautiful flower? And then I had one in the orangey red, and I was just so excited when I saw them that I went out and I wanted to buy more, but I already had some. So I said, well, I'll just add these to it. And it really came out to be a pretty nice bouquet of flowers on my table. Anybody that knows me knows I like flowers. That's my thing that I enjoy personally. But it is what it is. But anyway, I wanted to read this poem that I found, and I really thought that it had meaning, or has great meaning. And it says, everything everything has two endings. Everything has two endings. And it says everything has two endings: a horse, a piece of string, a phone call. It says before life, then there's air, and then after. It says that silence is not silence, but a limit of hearing with friends. Real short, real descriptive, real distinctive. That, if you have a friend or a loved one, maybe you should, touch with them, keep in touch with them as long as you can, as often as you can. Even if it's just FaceTime, if it's, a card, something to let them know that you care. Sometimes we get backed up on all the things that we have to do, and we never think about what somebody else would like us to do. But that would be something that I certainly hope that once I'm down and I cannot do what I do now, that somebody would say, but you know what? She was always there. She was always there. So the silence, it says a silence is not silence, but it's limit of hearing with friends. So if you can't hear, then you don't, if you're not hearing anything, then you're alone, which is pretty much how I wrote my section up for a presentation today. That a lot of times so much has gone on that we forget that people need to hear from us. Hi, Joan. I'm hearing from Joan this morning. Good morning, Joan. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And Joan, I have to apologize. I still have that card riding around in my car. So I have to do better. I have to do better. But because, I know you've been in and out and I've been on and off, I just want you to know I love you, care about you, and I will get that card to you. If I may be driving down that way, instead of going towards my daughter's house, I need to turn the car in the opposite direction. And I'll let you know before I come. I would never just drop in. But a visit is just that. It's a visit. It's a visit where you don't have to be silent. You can laugh. You can make jokes to the point where everybody is just in tears, but good tears, good tears. So anyway, that's our word for today, which is visit. It says go to see. Oh, you're welcome. It says go to see someone socially, to make an appointment, to interview, to call, to have a holiday with, to stay with, to stop by. It says to stop over, to talk with, to vacation with, to have an evening with, a sojourn, a weekend, or just an absolute out and out visitation. So when I look at the whole word of visit, to me, I've always made it where it's been fun. But every once in a while, I've had to make visits that it meant, finality. It was over. It was like they were going to leave, such as a parent or a sibling, a friend. So sometimes we know that life just changes on us. It's not that we change, or we get too busy, that we don't pay attention to what somebody else may need in their life. And that's just to see us. That's just to see us. So when I break the word down this morning, my V is for vacation. Sometimes you need to take a vacation, visible, okay? Make yourself visible to people. That's good. That's very good, Joan. Sometimes we just need to visit folks, let them know how we feel. And I said vacation because vacation to me, which is something I don't do often, it's gotten just so, because it's, for me, it's the expense. The expense has just gotten ridiculous. Because as I've always said, whenever I go to New York, I always stay in a hotel, because my family has enough family where there's no room for me. And I don't want anybody to get out of their comfort zone to make me a little comfortable. So I just make my own comfort at a hotel, and we just visit that way. But it says to vacation is an extended period of leisure. And I think all of us need that. I know Joan and her husband, they go on vacation, They may go cruising. You know, that is probably one of the biggest things that I've seen people do from this area. Is a lot of people go cruising. But anyway, a vacation is a trip. It's a break from your routine. Um, it could be a stopover, a day off, a recess, an adjournment, a furlough. You know, I remember when we worked for the military, it was always a furlough. Good morning. Good morning, Ardelia. How are you? Good to see you in the space. You was singing the other day. I saw you now. Start a local group. But anyway, good morning. Good morning. Today our word is visit. How do we visit with people and let them know that we care? You know, because I don't know. For me, COVID did more than just bring about an illness. The the virus of it came, but with it also came people being more isolated, more distant, more unsure about themselves and others. And so it brought on its own little idiosyncrasies, which are still around. You know, as you can probably tell, I have a couple of friends. They still don't want any company, and they don't come out. They don't come out, and nobody goes in. So, you have to just consider where they're at, but you can still do a phone call. You can still try to do, the face-to-face time with them, just to say that you're trying to connect, trying to do the virtual visit, because the virtual visit is good. In fact, we need to do a virtual visit with us soon. We did that probably about 2 years ago now, where we all came on in a Zoom, and it was so much fun. Everybody had a good time and got a chance to share right online live, and that was good. So we want to do that again. Um, but a vacation or to go to see somebody as in a visit it's good. It sometimes we can rest while we're reconnecting with people, letting them know that we care. But being visible is really good, Joan. My I in visit is the initiative. Sometimes we have to prepare ourselves to do what we want to do, need to do, and sometimes forced to do. Okay, interact. That's very good. I have initiative, meaning that you have to set it up. It says the ability to assess and initiate things. You have to set it up. If you don't set it up, you will never get to the point where you're actually ready to visit anyone. Okay. It says you have to look at it as being somewhat inventive. You are the one that's doing the inventing of whatever what you want to happen. It says it should be resourceful. Like what is needed, how much does it cost, where are we going to go, are you going to, is it going to cost us to the point where it's a lot of time and a lot of money, or limited time and no money? Such as the visit could be that we're going to meet at a restaurant in town. That's still a visit. It's still a visit, meaning that you left your place and you went someplace else to meet with somebody else that you were visiting with. So it talks about your capability, your imagination, because sometimes we have to be imaginative now, since what we've gone through the last few years. Um, and it says sometimes we need to be original and creative. We must have a drive to do it. Like how do you go about deciding that you want to see somebody? You have to plan it. You have to plan it. Even to go away on a trip, you still have to plan it. Or even in town, if you're going to meet with people, you have to plan it. And it talks about it being something that could be a dash, meaning we're gonna do this real fast. I'll meet you at the corner of, or I'll meet you at the restaurant at, but it's preparation. It is definitely preparation. When we move on in our word of visit, we talk about it being sometimes a sojourn. It may be a temporary stay where you're just going to say, hey, look, why don't we, you come to my house for a week. Temporary stay. It's a temporary sojourn. Serving. Good. Because you are serving others. To me, when you're going to visit people, there's a point to it. You're going to reconnect. You're going to, hug. You're going to tell stories. My mother used to say, tell lies. Because my mother always used to say that people said, that's not how I remember that story. And this is the 15th time I heard it. Socialize. Absolutely. That's a wonderful word. Socialize. Getting together. Realizing that coming together has its importance. I've always been a social butterfly, or a socialite, as my mama used to call it. Always wanting to get out and do something, but my mother did it, my father did it. So we got used to the idea that, being with other people was important. It felt good. It felt good to go visit people and go dancing, singing, doing things that make sense to you, and you can have fun with it. So for me, I love it. I love it. I know some people may not, but when you sojourn, getting back to that word, it says that you're on a visit. It's a stopover. Sometimes the sojourn means that you're really going further, but you're going to stop over someplace. You may be going to someone's residence for a little way. I remember when we were little, my parents would go. We would drive from New York to West Virginia or Nashville, where my parents were from. And one of the things I remember is that there were people along the way that we would stop at their place and maybe have dinner or stay overnight because the ride was really long. That was part of it. That was part of the let's do it. Let's go. And it was fun. It was part of what we did. But nowadays, in order to get anywhere, because there's a lot of people out there. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Maurice. Let's see what our Delia is saying. It's always good to get together, especially when a funeral service is not involved. What you say? Come on now. Absolutely. I think when we can have birthdays, hey, Big Mo, worshiping Usher, I believe when we can have a birthday celebration or an anniversary or an engagement party, whatever the occasion is, just a party, a barbecue, we're all just coming together, and it might be a potluck or whatever. So what? Let's all get together. One of the things I love about our church is that our church does a lot of that. We will get together and have a good time. Good time, have a good time. And that to me really brings us together as a congregation, and it forms friendships in the church. And it's a beautiful thing. It is. It's gorgeous. It's just an opportunity to really say, man, it's not just the love of your internal family, but it's your external family, but it's the family that you've earned in the church. That's good. And then there's clubs sometimes do that. Like I always admire the sororities and fraternities. I never had that opportunity to join one. I guess I could have once I got older, but my undergraduate school was 99.5% Caucasian. So I never knew what it was to understand Black Greek, groups. I didn't until I went to graduate school, and I said, "Wow, they have a lot going on. They have fun. They know the song, and they know the dance, and they know the stepping, and it was just wonderful, and it was excitable. It was exciting, to watch them, but I knew nothing about it, So we have to talk about, exposure. And so my exposure to that was later on, but that is like, to me, when they visit, they visit. Like, I love it when the HBCUs have all of their events, especially FAMU, because I've been to two of theirs I've been to, and they're pretty extravagant, but they're doing their thing of having fun. My eye is for inventiveness. I believe that sometimes we have to help others understand being inventive, informative. That's good too. If we're informed, we can help inform someone else. But if they're sitting in their house and they know nothing about what's going on, then we could reach out. We could reach out. I said inventiveness, but it says inventiveness is the quality of being inventive and creative. And I think sometimes because of, COVID and what it brought with it, we're afraid to really, extend boundaries. We might be more closed off and interested in only family or even limited family. I have some friends that even family can't come over, and it's been, basically what, 2 years that COVID has kind of finally moved on. It hung around a minute. It hung around where people became fearful, like 2020, March of 2020, and then through 21. And, it started easing up in 22. So you think 2 years of doing something can become habitual. And if fear came with it when it entered in, then fear may stay with it for a very long time. You just never know. But I said inventive, which talks about it being, you might have to be learn to be original on how you meet your family and friends, to make sure that we don't let those long periods go by, and by the time we see people, they've changed to almost, where we don't recognize them, because life continues to go on for us in spite of what we're going through. It may be that we're going through rough times. It might be that we're going through good times, but nonetheless, we're going through. We are definitely going through. So I said inventiveness is also having creative talent, looking at, anything that can be accomplished. How can we do this? How can we make it work? Having your skills put to the test. How many of us have skills that we let lie dormant? But we might want to come up with something, making a bouquet for somebody. Or in fact, I said that's what I'm going to do for my one person that I saw the other day for her birthday. We went out to dinner the other day, but I think I would like to just take her some beautiful flowers by and let her know that we love her and miss her from what we knew that she could do and did before. Let's see. Then it also talks about inventive, talking about bringing newness to a situation, breaking with tradition. And let's face it, if you went through COVID, you have broken tradition of how you can, get to see people, speak to people, communicate with people, reconnect with people. And for a while there, Zoom was it, but they've brought in some other platforms since Zoom, and there's other ways that you can be creative. And I've even done as much as drop little bags by somebody's house with a note in them, to just tell them that I love them, hanging it on their door. Anyway, we can make ourselves, known to someone else as a point of love and care and trust. That's a good thing. You can't do anything with that but say yes. Yes, we had to be creative. We absolutely did. And we were very creative. I was just saying, and I don't know if you were here, Maurice, that I want to rekindle an opportunity where we can all get together and do a Zoom again, and try it and make it fun, and come up with a word that everybody will have the word ahead of time, and they can come up with their own spin on how relatable they can be to that word, and then we'll share it. Joan, thank you. Joan has tactical. Oh, I love it. How can we be tactical? Yes, last time was awesome. Thank you, Maurice. Yeah, we're going to get Joan in. I don't know if Joan, I think Joan might have been traveling or something that time, but hopefully it'll be a time that Joan, Ardelia, Debbie, all of the ones that come in a lot, that they will come in and have a good time with us. And I'll try to post it well in advance so that people can get the word and come to the session. Tenacious is very good. Sometimes we have to be tenacious in what we're doing and tactical on how we prepare things, how we look at stuff. Because sometimes the look can't be straight on. The way we're used to doing stuff, we may not be able to go inside the house, but maybe we can all meet outside, because we did a lot of that. We would just say, oh yeah, we'll meet and we'll all bring our own food and we'll do this, that, and the other thing. And that's what we did. So sometimes those things would work. I said for my tea travel, I believe that sometimes you have to leave your house to make an arrangement to go visit someone else who may be sick or shut in, or even if they're getting around, still having some difficulty. Because sometimes that connection just will rekindle, um, the not just the love that you have for them, but their ability to communicate with you, especially if it's something dealing with like dementia or Alzheimer's. So sometimes we have to put ourselves out there and let it be known that we are available for those things. So travel means go from one place to another place, and that's what we are able to do if we drive, or maybe it is that we have to fly to go see somebody to another part of the country. That's okay. It just involves your money and your planning. I guess it would be your pay and then your play, but for sure it would be that it have to proceed with you planning it properly. So travel says that you would make some moves, you would proceed on whatever the adventure is, you would make advances towards how it's going to be done, when it's going to be done, how, who's going to be involved in it. And all that information would be obviously sent out as transmittal to the individual or individuals of where you're going. And then obviously, if you're traveling, you're going to carry some stuff with you, and hopefully, it's stuff that it's not too heavy or anything, but it's something that you can share with where you're going, to that individual. I have a tendency when I go to New York, when I come back, I bring things that I cannot find in New York. I can only find them in New York. I can't find them here. So when I come back, I bring them, and I have a couple of people who tell me, a couple of friends say, hey, when you go on up there, you bring this, and this back. So I do that. I do that. And it's the same thing when you might have people that live in other countries. If you know there's things that you like, tell them. That's a friend. Tell them, hey, look, I'd like this, and how much is it running there, and can I send you money for this and that, and they will bring it back to you. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that every once in a while I get pinged in my heart when I see things that can be addressed. And, seeing a friend that I had worked with for years, loved like a sister, did so much for me and my family through the years, and to see that, that she's suffering with dementia or Alzheimer's, it's really something that we have to take our time um, to touch and retouch, connect and reconnect with people that we know and love that have, taken some twists and turns in their lives, and that we need to just let them know we're still there, even if they can't communicate as much as they at one time were able to do. Nonetheless, we can certainly do our best to share in whatever love and offer love to them and care. And that's what I got to do Saturday there. And I'm gonna take some flowers by maybe today or tomorrow, so that they know that just seeing them kind of sparked me up again. That I hope to see them again soon. But anyway, I hope you guys are going to have a wonderful weekend. I mean, a wonderful week, because this is only Monday. I don't know why, for some reason, I missed Friday, and Friday kind of set me off for the entire weekend. But I went to a training, and the training was good. It was on, basically how do you trim out, trim down on too many emails, too much saying yes, kind of losing yourself in the process of what others need you to do. And so that was really good. It was a good session. The young lady was really good. And you know, she and I, we talked after, and maybe we'll work together. We don't know, but I appreciate you. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Maurice, Ardelia, and other people. A lot of people see this, and I don't always see the notes until after I leave, just depending on the feed that they have coming in to wherever they're located. But I hope to see you on Wednesday with another word. Take care of yourself. If you can, visit somebody, even if it's just a visiting phone call, and do that. Let's get that in, okay? Because one day it may be you that can't get out. I love you guys. Appreciate you so much. If you don't do anything else, hit that share button and let this information be shared to others that need to know that I'm here, and I will work. I will work for nothing. I will work for just the fact that we're helping others understand the significance of words. Significance of words. Okay, I thank you. I love you. See you soon. Ciao, bye. Be blessed. You too, Maurice. You too, Ardelia.